Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I want to talk about the fact that you do not need to be positive all the time to manifest. And I'm just going to jump right into it. Well, I'm going to thank you for being here today. Thank you for, watching my videos, liking them, commenting. I have absolutely loved reading your comments lately. They are such a fun part of my day, very exciting for me. I absolutely love interacting with you guys and hearing, how things are going for you or just your thoughts. It's really amazing connecting with other people in this way. Anyway, now I'm going to jump right into it. So this is like the power of not being positive all the time. You're constantly manifesting, right? You're not just manifesting the things that you consciously desire. You're manifesting every aspect of your reality on some level, some part of your consciousness, not your conscious mind, but your consciousness, like your energy is creating everything or manifesting everything, aligning you with everything. So you don't feel positively all the time, right? Like, you have your ups and downs. You're a human. You feel things to different extents. We all have our ebbs, our flows. We have our good days and our bad days. We move through things and we feel both positively and negatively and, all the in-betweens. So I think when we have a manifestation like, a serious relationship or, a new job or some sort of big change for us, we place a lot of emphasis on the fact that it's going to make us feel better to have that thing. Now, obviously, in order to actually manifest it, we have to come into a state of not needing that thing in order to feel the way we desire it to make us feel. That's, how the law works, that you have to be in alignment with it. And so if you're in alignment with that thing, you no longer truly need it. It'll just kind of be a supplement to your reality. And we really focus on the fact that this thing's going to make me feel better. It's going to make me feel good. And so I think we think that in order to manifest it successfully, we have to feel good all the time. But if you're manifesting something that's going to stick around in your life for a while, whether it's a job, a person, or an object, you are going to have that thing on your good days and your bad days. You're going to have that thing when you feel sad and angry and tired and hopeless or depressed or frustrated. I don't know, I can't think of other negative emotions. So why would you think that you only need to be, I don't know if I worded that right. Why would you think that you have to only be positive in order to get this thing that will stick around through thick or thin, right? No matter what your emotional state is. By that logic, you would actually want to practice still manifesting and believing that you will have this thing or you do have this thing in negative emotions, because you would want to cover all your bases, right? And know that no matter how you're feeling, you still believe that this thing is possible for you to have and be aligned with. And that was a rhetorical question. Why would you feel the need to be positive all the time? Because I think it's just something that we kind of automatically go into. It's not something that we consciously make the decision about. I think it comes from a place of fear. Fearing that we can mess things up, or fearing that us being less than perfect, which is, often when we have negative emotions, we view ourselves in negative ways, right? I'm not as fun to be around when I feel this way, or like, oh, I'm a burden on my friends and loved ones because I'm having a bad day, and that's our judgment on ourselves. So I think that's why we naturally move into this assumption that we need to be positive all the time in order to manifest, but you absolutely don't. As a matter of fact, I think that there is a lot of power in not being positive. I think that you need to, I'm going to go back to, if you watched my video about like the alignment, when you're trying to align with when you're aligning with your manifestation, and if you still have blocks, it's going to be almost like air bubbles, like you're trying to apply a window tint or a phone screen protector, right? There's going to be air bubbles. Those are the blocks. And so if you apply the phone screen protector, if you get your manifestation and you still have some blocks, you still have some things to work through, you're going to see turbulence, you're going to see partial manifestations, things aren't going to come in quite like you want them to. It's going to be obvious. You're going to see the reflection of those blocks being there. And so just like, let's go with this air bubble thing, you got to scrape them out of your phone screen protector. You got to scrape the air bubbles out. If you're installing window tinting, you got to get those air bubbles out. And so when our blocks come up, now they're rooted in fear, right? They're rooted in fear and wounding, which is basically one and the same. I think that there's always fear when it comes to our wounds. So when they come up, they're probably not going to feel great, right? And these pieces of us want to be witnessed because we've been usually just ignoring them because we're afraid. We don't feel valid to see those parts of ourselves. We feel that there's something to be ashamed of with them. So when we're finally ready to heal them, it can be kind of intimidating, being like, well, what do I need to do with them? Nothing. You usually just need to witness. And if things are, sticking around a little bit too long, just ask yourself, like, what do you need from me? How can I serve you? How can I help you? Ask yourself. But if you want your manifestation to be sticking around through the ups and downs in your life, then don't be afraid to be feeling ups and downs when you're manifesting. And I think the other component that can create resistance around this idea is the fear that feeling negatively will somehow delay your manifestation. And so I have a couple points that I want to speak on that. Sorry, my dog keeps jumping around and like shaking my camera. So when it comes to delaying your manifestation by feeling negatively, it's like, one, those things need to come up. So the fact that you're delaying it to do more healing, you kind of need to, because if you don't delay your manifestation right now and you ignore this healing that needs to happen, it's going to need to happen eventually, right? But I know that it's hard to think that logically and with that type of perspective when you're in the thick of it. So then the other thing around the fear of timing is just the fear that you can mess it up, period. I think that, somehow you could take too long or you'll just never get there. I feel like I kind of lost what my full thought was there for the second one, but in trying to remember it, I thought of something different, so I'm going to move into that. But yeah, also feeling like, going back to not feeling worthy in these lower frequencies or feelings, in these lower states of being, I guess, that's passing judgment, right? But feeling like you might not deserve, that dream partner if you're not sunshine and rainbows 24/7, then people don't want to be around you. There can be a lot of work to do there. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of work there. I don't know. I don't know what you got going on. There is probably work to some degree to do there on just feeling worthy. I know something I've realized for myself recently is that I had that. And it's something I'm still working on, so I can't say that I don't still. But, just feeling like if I'm not at my idea of my best self all the time, I'm just not worthy of things. I'm not worthy of relationships, and I need to hide myself away when I'm not feeling the greatest. And I think part of it is because I feel, as much as I love striving to be someone that can help support others and help inspire others, that balances or bounces off of, the parts of me that I need to work on and I need to uplift and love within myself. And so, I want to, it's so exciting as I grow into these, roles in my life, but then you can kind of see the contrast with the parts of you that are like, oh no, I don't feel worthy. And so it can create turbulence emotionally. And just keeping in mind in your manifestation process that this is about healing. I don't know, I don't really hear a lot of other coaches emphasize that so much. They emphasize a lot that you can obtain whatever you want as long as you believe in it and you work for it. And I think that's amazing because it's true. But I think we do forget that this is about our healing, and so we focus on the end goal, and we forget that there should be some reverence, even respect for our healing process, however that comes up on the way to receiving, whatever the manifestation is. And I've seen some comments on my social media across all platforms, saying that they really understood what I was saying in my video, and they did the reflection, they asked themselves the questions, but now they're kind of wondering, like, oh my gosh, sorry, my screen is so dark. Now we're bright. Okay. Now they're wondering, well, what do I do now that I kind of have these answers, but I don't really know how to go about healing these pieces of myself? And it's tricky for me to give advice for that because everyone is so unique, and I think that the healing process can be really delicate, especially when we're talking about potential like trauma wounds. And so I never want to seem like super sure of giving general advice on the internet when it's not a one-on-one session and it's not someone that I'm connecting with one-on-one energetically. I want you to feel empowered to take the advice you see on the internet, but as it pertains to your intuition is going to guide you through your healing process. What I do when it comes to healing that I don't really know how to do is I just intend for it to unfold before me, and then I really, really have to practice taking my hands off the wheel. And this is where like inspired action comes in. So, if I have a block and I don't know how to heal it, and I'm just like, or I don't even quite know what it is, I just know it's there, I'll just intend for it to be revealed, and then I'll intend for it to naturally unfold healing. And I think I've talked about this before, but this can just look like, we all have an idea probably of what our healing process should look like. And as someone who has done a ton of personal healing work and, assisted others with healing, I've really come to see that our healing process changes and shifts depending on our needs. So I would get used to like a certain pattern or routine, and then it wouldn't be working for me, and I'd be wondering why I was still stuck. And then I would just take a step back and say, okay, like whatever it is I need, I'm ready for it to happen, and I'm willing for this to come in the way it needs to so that it can be healed, in its perfect timing. And then it does. And that can look like, I'm really used to kind of getting to the root of issues through having conversations with a couple of my close friends. They usually trigger a lot of healing realizations within me. And so I was like, like I couldn't get a hold of them because they were busy. And I was like, I know I have this piece that I really want it to come up and heal. And, I'm so used to these two people, being a huge catalyst for that, but they're, unavailable to me right now. And so, okay, maybe I just need to wait. And then it's like one of my other friends is texting me about like donuts or, like a meme or something. And I just decide to have fun with that conversation. And next thing you know, they've said something that has like given me the aha moment. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like I wouldn't have had that conversation if I kept going with my ego's idea of where I should go next. Or, I'll tell myself like, okay, I'm taking a break from social media because maybe I was using it too much or in an inappropriate way for my healing, and, it's starting to become more of a crutch than something helpful for me. And so I'll be like, okay, no TikTok, no YouTube for the next 4 days. But then, maybe I'll get this urge to go on TikTok, and I'll check with myself, does this feel truly in alignment? And I'll go on there and I'll see a video, like 4 videos deep that has the key for me, that gives me that spark, that aha moment, and I'm able to move forward with my healing. So the key is within you. Your process is going to be your process, and you will guide yourself through it. Healing is such a personal thing, and healers, coaches, we are only assisting you to listen to yourself, really, in your process. So if for whatever reason working one-on-one with someone is not in alignment for you, then don't be afraid to really trust yourself and tune in with yourself and see what you have to offer, because it's your healing, and your higher self, your higher consciousness, your soul, it's here for a reason, and it has a perfect plan for how to do all this. So try and just kind of like let it unfold. Intend for it to, and let it unfold, and really just let go of what that needs to look like, because I'm telling you, like, I've had, these like key realizations come out of the strangest places, and I just continue to practice stopping feeling like I have all the answers, because as much as I love learning so that I can share with other people and give them advice and help make everyone's life easier and happier and more beautiful and full of healing, it's like there's still so much we'll just never know. I don't know, there's still a mystery to it. I guess there's still a mystery to it. But I'm gonna end things there. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Doesn't have to be related to this. I just love hearing from you guys. Your thoughts, what's going on with you, how things are going. I love every single one of them. If you want to work one-on-one with me, my services are down below, linked on my website, thealexandrarose.com. On my Patreon, I make extra videos and extra content geared towards my community. That information is also down below, and I will see you in the next video.